What's good? What's good? Hey, it's DJ Fury back from DJFurybeats.com. So today I want to talk to y'all about why I feel like the new Mac Studio that's dropping tomorrow at the taping of this video will change the home studio game forever. Now, for one thing, I feel like since the M1 chips came out a couple years ago, Apple really took their game up to a new level, especially giving people who need a home-based studio something easier to use. You get what I'm saying? Because right now, Intel, AMD, all of these companies are really falling behind. Because why? They have, you got Intel, but you got Asus, you got HP, you got Dell, you got all these people, and none of this stuff is optimized. All of the programs are made to run on a plethora of different types of CPUs and GPUs, RAM, and all of that. Now, some of the stuff is not compatible. Like some programs don't work on certain things. Now, this is where Apple has came in and changed the game, just like they did with the iPhone. And the reason why the iPhone is more optimized than, say, an Android, even though y'all know I'm Android all day, but it is what it is. Apple programs run better on Apple Silicon. That's the way it is. So now, since the Mac Studio is coming out, it's going to be based on the Mac Mini. The Mac Mini M1 already been out. The base price is like $700 for a Mac Mini, and that already runs better than the Studio I have right now. So right now, I can't even record inside of Pro Tools without having to mute out my track. So when I'm going in there and I'm recording, I have to mute out the track, and I let people hear themselves through the actual physical hardware. It's just like I'm using my RME Babyface as an actual like mixer, because I'm letting them hear themselves through the actual hardware and not through the computer. So now the new Mac Studio is going to have to get rid of because right now you can already use the M1 Max based laptops. Like, I could get one of those right now, but I feel like it's gonna look way more professional having a smaller unit. And I'm not gonna get the display. Just say, like, they do have a display that's coming out too. It's gonna be a 27-inch display. It's gonna be a lot cheaper than the $1,000. Or I don't know how much it got. Like the display that they have, they got a display with $1,000 stand on it. Like, you don't need that. Like the home studio, you don't need stuff like that. Like, so now we're gonna be able to record professional quality at a fraction of the cost, because you don't have to get in the game buying a $5,000 Mac, because that's the base. That's the base. Now, if you're doing machine learning, all of this type of stuff, you know, big, huge films, terabytes worth of data, yeah, get the Mac Pro. It's still going to be what you need for your application. So now, Apple is bridging the gap between the user, the basic user who just browses the web, might record a little bit inside of GarageBand, or mess around with like iMovie or something to just, you know, just for fun. Now they get into the actual content creator. The content creator will be able to take advantage of the new Mac Studio, which I think is going to feature either a beefed up M1 Max or just the base M1 Max that's used in the Mac Pro. Well, not the Mac Pro, but the MacBook Pro already. And it's going to be like I said, it's going to be that gap in between, and it's going to help a lot of people who can't afford to get into that $5,000 computer a way to be way more professional. You're going to be able to edit your 4K video. I don't know how good it's going to do an 8K video, but YouTube, I mean, how many people got 8K displays anyway? You know, we're not really worried about 8K just yet. So you'll be able to work with and export your 4K footage. You're gonna be able to use hundreds of tracks inside of Logic Pro Tools. If you go check out some people videos on YouTube right now, they already using 300 or 400 tracks inside of Pro Tools and Logic with a buffer size of 32. You know what I'm saying? So there's no need for having DSP based TDM systems like that you needed beforehand to run your stuff. You run your audio into your computer without having without recording with latency, because you're not gonna need it anymore. Now I'm thinking it might be around 2K to 3K, but if it is, invest in it. It's gonna take you a lot further than buying something like. It's gonna take you a lot further than buying like the Intel based. So when you first get it, don't be surprised. It might be a couple hiccups, because you gotta think Apple is trying to switch everybody over to using their ARM based silicon. So the reason why it's so much faster than what we had before is Apple, just like what they use with their iPhones, they put everything on one chip. They use a SoC ARM based silicon. So the SoC is going to have your RAM, it's going to have your GPU, it's going to have your CPU, and it might even have the memory inside the chip. I don't know if it's the memory inside the chip or not, but it's going to have all of that based on one chip. So now the space in between sending this information data back and forth is very small, and it uses like an NVMe based storage. So now that storage is fast enough to be used and utilized as extra RAM for your computer. So if you had a computer with 16 gigabytes of dedicated RAM storage, now you'll be able to utilize some of the memory and get like up to 100 gigabytes worth of RAM in a computer that just has 16 gigabytes worth of RAM. Now, when you're using that much RAM, it might bog down your computer a little bit to do other tasks, but I feel like if you're using that much RAM for something, you're probably not doing anything else with the computer anyways at that point in time. You know. But yeah, this is my video. This is why I feel like the M1, well, let me say the Mac Studio with the M1 Max chip is going to revolutionize the home studio. You're not going to need to use a laptop in the studio anymore. You know, like if you had the M1 Max based MacBook Pros, you had to use that beforehand in the studio. Now you can just use this small, you know what I'm saying, it's rumored to be at 4 inches tall, but the same depth as the regular Mac Mini. So now you have a smaller computer that can do way more than the big desktops we had back in the past, and it's gonna be all you need. So yeah, that's my opinion. I feel like if you know, there's really no need to even stay on like Windows based computers if you're doing like content creation. It's kind of pointless in my opinion, just because of the optimization and how much of a better workflow you're gonna have. So alright, that's my opinion, man. Like, subscribe, check me out. I'm gonna be dropping something tomorrow too. You know, check in for some more beats.